Okay, so drunk talk is sober thoughts. Drunk talk is sober thoughts. So whenever you're out and you're drinking and the thoughts that come to your head, those are thoughts that you're probably keeping down. You're withholding them because you don't have the liquid courage or the courage to speak them out, right? And it's just a level of awareness that you should be aware of, right? If you're out there drinking with somebody and they start talking to you and they start telling you, yo, I really love you, man. I really watch how you move. I like how you move. I think that you're awesome. I think you're the man. I think you're the girl. Chances are that's the truth. And they're not lying to you. They're telling you something that's held deep within their spirit. And it took a spirit to bring it out, bring it to the top layer. So whenever you're out there drinking and you're networking with people and you're entering the gray area, you got to pay attention. Even though you're entering a realm where you're exposed and you're more vulnerable, you need to be aware that others are more vulnerable as well. So pay attention to their words and remember them. Write them down. Tweet them if you use Twitter as a note-taking software like I do sometimes. Just be aware of that. Now, if you're having thoughts that are rather degenerative or destructive or borderline insane, there's a chance that maybe you shouldn't be drinking at that point in time. Maybe you should be handling those thoughts, getting to the kernel of truth within them, and figuring out why you're thinking those things whenever you're inebriated or completely vulnerable. Deal with those thoughts before you start drinking and entering that gray area. But drunk talk is sober thoughts. The drunk talk that people speak and that you speak, those are kernels of truth, your truth. And if you don't agree with that truth at the time, like I said before, you should deal with that prior to drinking or before you drink regularly. So pay attention. Sometimes I go out, or sometimes in the late night hours of the day, like today, it's 4:23 a.m. Central Standard Time here in Dallas, Texas. I'm recording this video, talking to you, speaking to you. And I've had times where people close to me, people that I work with, people that have seen me in the heat of battle, to be completely dramatic but truthful. They have sent me texts telling me, yo, I watch you. I think you're the man. I think you're awesome. I like what you're doing. Here's some advice for you. But also here's some compliments, some things that I couldn't say if I wasn't inebriated or under the influence of whatever stimulant or additive they were currently on. And it's important that you're aware that even though drinking and doing other stimulants is by definition degenerative, and in terms of health standards, like if you talk to an athlete or a trainer or a nutritionist, they would tell you that these substances that you put within your body are actively destroying your body. There's a reward beyond or that comes with that risk. Otherwise, people wouldn't do it, right? I mean, why would any of us drink on the weekends if it was completely bad? It just doesn't make sense to do something that's completely bad. Otherwise, we wouldn't do it. So what is the positive side of drinking and abusing stimulants or indulging in stimulants and in pleasure and these things that society tells us is bad outside of alcohol? I mean, there's commercials about alcohol all the time. The only reason why you would do it is because it's positive and it helps you get to something that is truthful. And there's a good article or idea that I've heard over the past few years, and it's by a rather controversial person or polarizing person, somebody who's passed away. His name is Osho, I believe. And he was a sort of cult leader / spiritual leader, and I guess those terms are rather interchangeable in some cases, to say the least. And he said that drugs are, um, dang, what did he say? He said drugs are, let me look it up. Yeah, the attraction for drugs is spiritual. The attraction for drugs is spiritual. So if we define drugs, that would mean, anything that takes you out of your baseline of consciousness. So it could be alcohol, it could be caffeine, it could be cannabis, it could be any other drug or spirit or stimulant in the world. That attraction, that reason why people do it is because there's a spiritual connection there. There's something there that they just really can't explain sometimes, that they can't experience unless they're in that stimulated state. So whenever you're out here and you're networking like I am recently, you got to be aware of that. Pay attention to the things that people say. Pay attention to the way that they look at you. Pay attention to the way that you feel and the things that you're thinking, and just fully be aware of everything that you're experiencing in that moment and during that time, because there's kernels of truth within, those thoughts and ideas. And if you can get down to the bottom of them, and if you're happy with the bottom of them, then you should take note and figure out what you can take from it to improve your life and get closer to 100% freedom, full self-employment, or maximalized employment, whatever it is for you. If you're an entrepreneur, which I think most of you guys that listen to this are budding entrepreneurs, people that are working towards 100% freedom, use that time to learn about yourself and learn about others, and to make decisions about what you're going to do in your daily life and who you're going to do it with in your daily life, and why you're doing it in your daily life. Drunk talk is sober thoughts.